So what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Ninchmovies back again with a brand new VHS review. Today we're going to be talking about the 2002 made-for-TV horror film, Teenage Caveman. It's been about a month since I picked up this film. This is a genuine reaction. I just finished watching the film about a minute ago, so you're getting my live, raw thoughts on this interesting ass movie. Shout out Billy Boy, he suggested I review this about a month ago, more or less. For the future, I know I'm sort of a bit average when it comes to time management, but anytime I do a VHS update, you see a movie you want me to potentially review in the future, just leave me a comment. I'll always do my best to get around to it. So I did write notes down as this film was going. This is not a scripted review as previously mentioned, but just so many things that I'm like, I need to write this down, I'll forget. I will firstly say that the creature feature intro that they have, it's like a stop motion animation. It gave me heavy flashbacks of a show I watched as a child called Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids. I used to watch that on ABC. Could be obscure, maybe you guys haven't heard of it, but probably the best part of the movie was that goddamn intro. So firstly, let's go on IMDb real quick. This movie is boasting a whopping 3.4 out of 10 with only 3.2k viewers, so it is a slept-on movie, not very known. The plot on IMDb is as follows. Teens encounter people who, after being used as guinea pigs for an experimental testing of a virus, can live forever in a post-apocalyptic world. Basically, the film starts out and civilization has died out. The civilization that obviously we live in today, and we go and revert back to being cave people. That's giving it a... I mean, technically that is the plot, but that's giving it a lot of props because as this movie has been reviewed and I posted it on my community side, it is more or less a straight up porno flick. So the film is directed by a man called Larry Clark. I'm not familiar with his catalogue, but as the VHS boasts, he is the controversial director of Kids, a much more highly received film. I think it's boasting about a 7 or 8 out of 10 on IMDb, not like the film we're talking about today. It stars Andrew Keegan, which you may have seen him in films. I recognize him as an actor, and then everyone else, don't even worry about it, man. You've never seen them, you've never heard of them, probably a good thing. So since this is such a hard film to even talk about, I'm just gonna go over my notes as I watch the film. So firstly, I would like to say, the dialogue in the film. The dialogue is what a lot of people comment on. For me, the dialogue, as bad as it is, was the best part of the film by far. It had very tongue-in-cheek... Is it even tongue-in-cheek? It's just a very poorly written script, but the comedy is very similar to something like a Beavis and Butthead. Like, they even use the words like daldo instead of dildo and bunghole. I swear in one of the sex scenes, one of the guys actually said boyoing. So for me, the dialogue kind of made it entertaining in a way because it was just so goddamn bad. I don't know who wrote this script, but God, I hope they never get another job again. The directing is actually the most painful part of the film, by far. With bad acting, bad dialogue, the directing is like by far the absolute worst. The movie boasts a lot of like really vibrant blue, reds and greens, like oversaturated. I'm talking the very first scene, I knew what I was getting into because as the cavemen were hunting, it was this sort of like blue filter for whatever reason. I have no idea what the artistic thought was behind that. It looks like shit. The whole movie's like that, just oversaturated colors, unless it's the sex scenes for whatever reason, the orgy scenes and everything like that. Just regular camera quality, let's go with that. Shaky camera shot. The director also loves the classic spinning shot. When two people are talking, let me just rotate around you for a couple minutes and give the viewer seasickness. I did write in quotations, for the porno scenes, there's a goddamn lot of them, I'm not gonna lie. If you're thinking that you're getting a horror movie here, maybe the last 10 minutes is the closest thing to a horror scene. There are some gory scenes that I will mention, for sure, but 90% of this movie is a porno flick, and it's just as simple as that. But I was saying the clever camera work to keep this movie being R18 and not like an NC-17 and, you know, just get completely banned and be a porno flick. You know, alcohol bottles in front of people's dicks, clams, things like that. But there's a lot of tits, a lot of ass, and once again, a lot of orgy scenes. So basically, outside of the sex scenes, the whole sort of idea of this film is these super mutants, these eternal living beings that were experimented on. The only way they can procreate is by having sex, I mean, that's how everyone procreates. The only way they can pass on this genetic gift that they have is through sex, and you either are going to completely self-implode, like all your organs will just shoot up like an alien scene and you will not survive the transition, or you do transition into sort of like a Wolverine type character where you're self-healing. You do have this inner monster that can come out, but you're more or less immortal. So it's straight up death after sex or a mortal living being. Those are the options. There is a burial scene. I wrote this down just because it was just insane. As bad as the dialogue has been, as much as this is just a porno that I'm watching, there's a burial scene for one of the cavemen named Joshua. As tribute, at his burial site, they sniff his underwear and just talk about how he wore it all the time. Yeah. I also noted the fact that anytime there's a verbal altercation in this film, they just go straight up to slapping you. How dare you slap? How dare you slap? That is like 90% of the arguments in this film have like 4 or 5 slaps in them. And for some odd reason, they just comedically put the volume of the slap way up. And that's as far as the notes go, guys. I've said what the plot is. I've been generous. I'm not going to rate this movie out of like a scale of 1 to 10 because what's the point? It's not really a film. I'm just going to say, it's not as bad as I was expecting, simply for the fact that it's not really a movie I'm watching. It really is a tamed porno with some horror. Didn't mind some of the special effects towards the end. I wish a lot more of the film was about the mutation of the cavemen and actually being a horror film, but it is what it is. Once again, the dialogue, I'm not supporting it whatsoever, but it made the movie entertaining to me. Like, I'm a huge fan of Beavis and Butthead, and this is just a movie about sex, drugs, cavemen being introduced to things like cocaine, drinking, and having orgies. Like, if that's your alley, it's a weird ass alley, but if that's your alley, this movie is for you. So, with that said and done, that is Teenage Caveman. Have you guys seen it? It's very much a lesser known film. I did want to come on here and share with somebody the fact that I watched this movie, I sat through it. I will say, at 1:26, I've had much more grueling watches. I personally, as I've reviewed in the past, I reviewed that sequel to An American Werewolf in London and American Werewolf in Paris. I would 100% rather rewatch Teenage Caveman than ever touch that movie again. I haven't watched too many made-for-TV movies. Psycho 4, I really enjoyed. The Craigslist Killer, I think, was a made-for-TV film. This is one that, you know, it's going to sit on the shelf. Now that I've watched it, it's a trophy, and I'm like, yep, I have Teenage Caveman in my collection. I actually watched that shit. But is it going to get a rewatch? Fuck no, man. Like, this is just a god-awful movie. I'd like to just finish off this review by saying I really appreciate the support that I've been getting on the channel lately. The subscribers have been going at an all-time pace. I'm actually coming up to a milestone of 300 subscribers, something I never would have thought I'd reach on this channel. So keep subscribing, like this video, comment down below what you thought of the review. Just all love, guys. I appreciate you all. I will see you guys in the next video. This is the Ninchmovies signing out.